The Transformers, more than meets the eye. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. The Transformers, more than meets the eye. The Transformers, robots in disguise. The Transformers, more than meets the eye.
The important thing to remember is that initially Gobots sold more than Transformers. It's very important that you remember that. Initially, Gobots had the edge on Transformers. Now, to give you a little backstory on Gobots, originally they were released in Japan as Machine Robo, which was a line of toys that basically transformed from a truck, buses, aeroplanes, scooters, garbage trucks, and so on into robots. Now, the company from America, Tonka, saw these and thought, that's great, we should make a toy line based on these things. So brought the idea over to America, bought the rights from Bandai, and turned them into two lines, the Renegades and the Guardians, and called them Gobots. Later on down the line, they would have a cartoon, but initially, again, they were just two lines that transformed from bikes, cars, planes, etc. into robots. There was no storyline on the back of the package. There was no real character building going on. They were just given names, and like I say, latterly a cartoon where only about 5 or 6 from each side were imbued with any sort of character. By the way, that cartoon series is going out on DVD very, very soon, so buy it because it's awesome. It has its limitations. It is Hanna-Barbera, but I do love it so because it has a lot of good memories for me. It's a very good cartoon. And Cycle is awesome, much more awesome than Megatron ever will be. Controversial but true. Yeah, so the lack of any sort of character building going on was the Gobots' downfall, because Hasbro came along and used for Transformers the same marketing policy that they had used for G.I. Joe. To wit, they would have a comic book, a cartoon and a toy line in quick succession. Use a three-pronged marketing strategy, and therefore sell lots and lots of robots, and that's exactly what happened. Gobots sadly kind of fell by the wayside because of that, because they didn't have a marketing strategy. It had all been very ad hoc. Oh, we'll have a toy line, we won't give them any characters, but we will give them names. Oh, they're not selling as well as they were, let's stick a cartoon out and see what happens. So everything was very reactionary as opposed to proactive like Hasbro. Hasbro knew how to sell these things, and therefore Hasbro got the biggest market share. Gobots fell by the wayside. Tonka sort of ceased to be until they were bought out by Hasbro, and by which point Bandai had fallen out with Hasbro in multitude of ways and refused to really let them do Gobots. So Gobots basically died, which is a shame because I think there were a lot of good concepts in there. I did like the fact that they were cyborgs rather than just pure robots. I think that was a really good idea that was kind of ahead of its time. But never mind, because Gobots were dead. Until the 2007 live action movie, or more specifically what came after the 2007 live action movie. Which, I mean a comic book. Not a very well received comic book, it has to be said. Not a very well read comic book, it has to be said. But that again had a reaction of a toy line. They brought out various repaints of existing figures and obviously used those repaints to fill up the 2007 live action movie comic. One of these was this character, who was called Fracture, and was a repaint of the classics line Mirage, which is a very good toy, and if you haven't got it you should get it. Including me, I haven't got it. I've got every other version of this apart from Mirage. But it's a very, very good toy. And like I say, Fracture is a repaint of him. Now Fracture, unless you read the 2007 live action movie comics, you may not know who this is actually supposed to be. But let me give you a few clues. Fracture's a girl. It's a girl Decepticon. And she has a power whereby if she slams her foot on the ground she can cause earthquakes. She's also insane, has a pink face and wears black mascara, or at least it looks that way, and is coloured in these colours. If you haven't guessed by now that this lady is actually Crasher from the Gobots, then yeah, it's Crasher from the Gobots, which is very, very strange and very, very cool, I think. Yeah, really odd that she should turn up at all, and really odd homage without little to no fanfare. So basically, you've got somebody at Hasbro who's just decided that they'll just bring this figure out and just say, well, you know, just don't say anything, and the people who are in the know will know who it is, and we might not get sued by Bandai. I'm guessing that might be where it came from, the fact that they didn't want to admit that this was actually Crasher. But yeah, that's who it is. That is insanely cool. And I have to admit that Crasher was my favourite Gobot anyway, so I was psyched when this character came out. Now, in the comics, she didn't really do anything, it has to be said. She sort of basically turned up, and I think she got killed, and that was the end of that. I think, again, they didn't want to be Bandai-baiting, because although they owned the rights to the Crasher character, I think Bandai might have still have had a pop if it had been too overtly a Machine Robo. Just as a little side note there, Machine Robo was actually Robo Machines in Britain and had a much darker storyline than Challenge of the Gobots. It happened in the Eagle comic. It was all set in Britain, and it was very, very much about political horse trading and sort of dark Machiavellian plans to turn the human race into slaves for the renegades. And yeah, it's British children's comics. Remember, Judge Dredd started out as a children's comic, so you can imagine basically what happened. There were lots of deaths of both Gobots and humans. Very, very odd and amazing. But you can find it. I think it's Counter X. If you look on the Counter X site, it does have a few pages up of that comic strip. So I do definitely recommend you having a look at that. Now then, Crasher, like I said, Fracture is a repaint of the Classics Mirage mould. So she is a racing car with a covered cockpit there, with some nice smoky transparent plastic going on. It's a great mould. It's a really, really good mould. A lot of people have a problem with it. I don't. I think it's a brilliant mould to have because it looks like what it's supposed to be. It's a very flat, very aerodynamic racing car. And I really like that. You don't see enough racing car Transformers. I mean, you see Mirage, Dragstrip, Crasher these days, and that's about it, really. You've got a few in the Energon line that don't really look like racing cars, but this is pretty realistic. And as far as I'm aware, based on a real model of car. I couldn't tell you which one because I'm not really an F1 fan, but apparently it is based on a real car. So all the wheels go round, which is very, very cool. She has spoilers that go down and up, which I suppose could act like an air brake if you really wanted them to. And best bit, no visible robot parts at all on this girl. None at all. If you look on the bottom, absolutely flat, you can't see anything that looks like anything that it should do. It's just coloured plastic in different colours. And I really, really like that. Now to transform her, it's very, very, very easy. Basically what you do, you take the back and you pull it away like so. You pull it all the way down and then use the spoilers, put them up like so, because that's going to become her robot legs and feet. You can already tell that coming to place there. You then take these bits here, you pull it up, and then you pull out what will become her arms to the sides there. You then pull out her shoulders, okay, then turn all of that around and then push down on the front splitter and pull that down all the way. It should come out and down like so. Oops, it's not doing it. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There you go. You pull that bit away and then that comes down and becomes her chest like so. Why is this not working? Oh, there you go, that's why. So I've not pulled it down properly. There you go. So pull that down and then this bit comes down as well and becomes her hips and waist area. And pull her arms out completely like so. And then her fists come out of her arms like that. One side and one side. The other. Whoops, there you go. And pretty much you've got Crasher. All you really need to do then is split her legs apart, which happens really, really easily. Straighten up her feet And then you've got Crasher, lift her head up so you've got her head there, like so. Now what you can do is take that bit up, pull out her weapon, which is some sign that it's kind of a crossbow thing. I'll show you how it looks. I don't really like it, I must admit. It's the weakest part of the whole thing. It fits in a fist like so, and it's some kind of Chewbacca crossbow thing that's going on there. I don't personally like it. I don't think she looks really good with it in her hand, so I like to store it, put it back in there, keep it there, and she's got a nice wide waist that sort of hides what's going on with her legs, hides her leg articulation a bit. I kind of like it like that. I kind of prefer that to having that as a gun. Very nicely articulated though. She does have waist articulation, which is nice for a Transformer of that era. Not all of them had it. They do now. It's sort of standard. People expect it, but back then maybe not so much. The legs are on ball joints, so they can do whatever you want them to do. Move around all the way. The knee is actually double hinged, kind of. You've got the hinge there. You've got a hinge there, so you can actually do that, which is nice. And in effect, because she's got the spoiler, she's also kind of got ankle stroke toe articulation, which is really nice. Another good feature about the legs is, I know they're made for Mirage, but it suits Crasher's character to have these great big boots, effectively, so she can smash down with it. And I really like the fact that you can do that as well. You can smash down like she did in the show, which is really, really cool. Her arms, again, shoulders on ball joints. They can also go up and down, so lots of nice articulation in there. She has double jointed elbows, one of which is on a swivel there. And she has wrist articulation, I suppose, but that's really for the transformation. And her head, her tiny, tiny head, which is one of the few flaws of this thing, does go around 360. The other flaw she has with her head is because it's all painted, there's no light piping in there whatsoever. I mean, it kind of suits her anyway, not to have the light piping, because she always had white eyes in the show. So I'm not really 100% bothered about that. I don't really care about light piping on everything. Not everything has to have it, basically. She doesn't, and I'm fine with that. But if you look at her, this is a fine, fine robot. I really love Crasher. I love her look. I think she looks spectacular. She really pops on the shelf. Colours are great, and they suit her particularly well. She also has, like I say, the pink face of the mascara going on. Don't know if you can see that. But she really does look the part. And it's a shame they've not really sort of capitalised on that. You had a few sort of slight homages down the years, but really it's taken a third-party company to do the cycle. Like I say, I don't know if it's because of Bandai-baiting that Hasbro are a bit reticent to do that and to bring more sort of Gobot-y things out. But I'm kind of hoping the fact that they're bringing Gobots out on DVD might sort of whet people's appetites a little bit, get more Gobot-y action going on, because I need more of these on my shelf. I think that'd be great. I'm going to have a Coptor and a Leader 1, possibly a Scooter, because I don't dislike Scooter, I'm sorry. I know a lot of people do, but so if you can get hold of Fracture, please do. I was very lucky. I got a years and years ago, like 2008, 2009, for pennies. I think she might be as, I think the expression is rare as rocking horse shit. So yeah, you might find it difficult to get one, but please do. I mean, I think she was a Walmart or a Target exclusive, so that probably explains why she wasn't made in amazing numbers. But you might find one on the interweb, so please do have a look. But she's a great toy. She's based on a great figure, so if you can't get her, get one of her moulded mates. Yeah, recommended. Definitely recommended. Now, that's the end of the video for today. I do realise I've been away for a little while. Can't be helped. I've had relatives down. I've been away. Various other things have been going on in my life. But I am back now. I promise you. This is the start of a new cycle. We're going to be doing Transformers video, G.I. Joe videos, Masters videos, DC videos, in that order, once a week, every month. So in a month you're going to get one of each for yourself, unless it's a 5-week month, in which case the cycle will begin again. But yeah, thanks for your patience, guys. Thanks for watching, as always. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye bye for now.